Did you have a nice boat trip up here?
Honey, they're not hard of hearing, you know.
Television in the early 1950s was experimental, raw, and often unpredictable. For Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, it was just another job. Yet their instincts hinted at something revolutionary. During one live taping of I Love Lucy, a minor mishap caused Lucy and Ethel to break character, laughing uncontrollably mid-scene. The producers faced a choice: reshoot the sequence or preserve the moment, against convention. They left it in. That unplanned laughter became a hallmark of authenticity, a radical departure from polish. Scripted performances, simultaneously, Lucy and Desi made a daring financial gamble. They accepted a smaller weekly paycheck in exchange for complete ownership of the filmed episodes, a strategy executives initially dismissed. Reruns were considered worthless. Television was thought to be ephemeral, but that misjudgment became their greatest advantage. Over time, those 179 episodes aired repeatedly, creating a syndication empire that ultimately earned millions. By turning a simple sitcom into an intellectual property powerhouse, they quietly reshaped the business behind the laughter. There was strategy, vision, and risk elements rarely associated with early television. Ball and Arnaz were not just performers, they were entrepreneurs, pushing against a system that did not yet understand the long-term value of film content. Every decision, from casting trusted colleagues to insisting on high-quality production, reflected foresight and ambition. They treated television as a living, evolving medium capable of generating culture, emotion, and revenue simultaneously. Their approach was meticulous yet bold. Rehearsals were precise, yet improvisation was welcomed. The accidental moments, combined with calculated risks, cemented their names in television history, setting a precedent for creative control, ownership, and syndication. What truly set them apart was their understanding of audience psychology. They recognized that viewers craved authenticity, humor grounded in human experience, and characters who felt like neighbors rather than distant stars. This insight shaped every aspect of the show, from timing and delivery to set design and camera angles. They also foresaw the power of television as a social connector, imagining homes across the country laughing together at shared experiences. Their studio became a laboratory for innovation, where every decision balanced creativity with strategic foresight. By daring to challenge norms, they not only entertained millions, but also redefined the possibilities of an emerging medium. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz demonstrated that true revolution in art often requires equal parts courage, imagination, and calculated risk, a formula that transformed a small New York studio experiment into a cornerstone of television history. Lucy, Ricardo, and Ethel Mertz were more than characters. They were reflections of everyday American life, and their humor struck a chord across the nation. Lucy's relentless energy, her misadventures, and her uncanny ability to turn ordinary moments into chaos made her instantly relatable, while Ethel's grounded wit provided the perfect counterbalance. Together, they created a dynamic that felt effortless, organic, and timeless. However, the path to this perfect chemistry was far from smooth. Lucy initially wanted to bring trusted colleagues from My Favorite Husband, but scheduling conflicts and contractual obligations prevented their involvement. These early setbacks, rather than being obstacles, shaped the cast that would become iconic. Vivian Vance and William Frawley stepped in, each bringing distinct personalities, subtle timing, and a natural rhythm that blended seamlessly with Ball and Arnaz. Off-camera tensions existed, age gaps, personality clashes, and occasional disagreements, but the professionalism of the cast ensured that magic happened in front of the camera. Every quip, pratfall, and reaction was crafted to feel unscripted. Deliberate blend of rehearsed timing and improvisation. Writers and directors meticulously tailored scenes to highlight individual strengths: Lucy's physical comedy, Ethel's timing, Fred's charm, and Desi's expressive flair. These choices reinforced each character's uniqueness while maintaining a cohesive ensemble, allowing viewers to invest emotionally in every misadventure. Over 6 seasons, the characters evolved alongside society, reflecting changing norms, personal milestones, and everyday struggles. Their imperfections, visible mistakes, improvised dialogue, and genuine reactions only strengthened their appeal. Audiences didn't just watch Lucy, they saw pieces of themselves. They empathized with Ethel's steady presence, rooted for Fred's charm, and admired Desi's wit. Beyond humor, the show explored relational dynamics, friendship, and resilience, giving the characters depth that elevated the comedy into relatable storytelling. Fans formed lasting emotional bonds with the characters, eagerly anticipating each episode as if visiting familiar friends. This relatability cemented the show as a household staple, where viewers laughed at chaos but also found comfort in shared experiences. Through careful writing, impeccable timing, authentic portrayals, and character-driven narratives, I Love Lucy demonstrated that television could simultaneously entertain, resonate emotionally, and forge deep connections, creating a blueprint for all future sitcoms and proving that humor, when rooted in humanity, endures across generations. Before I Love Lucy, most sitcoms were live broadcasts, a format that imposed severe limits on creativity. Mistakes were permanent, and actors had to deliver flawless performances under immense pressure. Desi Arnaz, alongside producers Carl Frey and Al Simon, envisioned a system that would overcome these restrictions. They pioneered the use of 3 cameras filming simultaneously on 35mm film, a technique that allowed one camera to capture wide shots while the other focused on close-ups and medium shots. This method ensured that scenes flowed naturally, actors could maintain momentum, and directors could preserve subtle nuances in performances that were often lost in live shows. Editors received precise, usable footage, dramatically reducing post-production headaches and increasing efficiency. The transformation extended beyond technique. A worn-down Los Angeles studio was converted into a state-of-the-art production facility, complete with 2 rebuilt sound stages and seating for 300 live audience members, all while adhering strictly to fire codes. The presence of an audience added energy and authenticity, producing genuine laughter that complemented the camera work. Scenes that once required hours of rehearsal and multiple takes could now be filmed in a continuous rhythm without losing spontaneity. This approach was revolutionary. It merged technical innovation with creative freedom, giving actors the space to improvise while maintaining high production standards. Beyond immediate improvements, this method set a new industry standard. Episodes could now be archived, sold, and syndicated globally, a model that continues to generate revenue decades later. By combining ingenuity, foresight, and meticulous planning, I Love Lucy demonstrated that television could be both a craft and a scalable business. The show didn't just entertain, it redefined the medium itself, showing that creativity and technology could intersect to produce content that was both timeless and commercially transformative. In essence, these innovations turned a simple sitcom into a blueprint for modern television production. In 1952, when Lucille Ball revealed she was pregnant, the network erupted in panic. At the time, pregnancy on television was virtually taboo. Executives feared alienating viewers, losing advertisers, and, most importantly, damaging the show's carefully cultivated image. Many suggested ending the series or hiding the pregnancy entirely. Jess Oppenheimer, the show's head writer and producer, recognized an opportunity. Integrating Lucy's real-life experience could enhance authenticity and create unprecedented audience engagement. After tense negotiations, CBS agreed, imposed strict rules. Every script had to pass the scrutiny of a priest, a rabbi, and a Protestant minister. Direct references to pregnancy were prohibited. Instead, characters used euphemisms such as expecting, having a baby, or even the French word onani. Newspapers cleverly skirted restrictions, listing episodes in ways that teased the public. Without violating the rules, the result was historic. On January 19, 1953, Lucy's character gave birth on screen, synchronizing perfectly with the birth of her real-life son, Desi Arnaz Jr. Over 44 million Americans tuned in, capturing roughly 70% of all television households, a figure that dwarfed President Eisenhower's inauguration coverage just hours later for a half-hour sitcom. This was an unprecedented demonstration of cultural influence and mass engagement. The episode became a national event, showing that television could reflect real life while shaping public conversation. The impact extended beyond ratings. It paved the way for future socially relevant storylines, proving that audiences were ready for authenticity, vulnerability, and modern themes. The episode also highlighted the delicate balance between censorship, creativity, and public sentiment. By daring to challenge norms, I Love Lucy not only entertained, but reshaped expectations for what television could address. It demonstrated that humor and humanity could coexist with controversy, opening the door for generations of writers and performers to tackle real-life issues with wit and intelligence. The show wasn't just funny, it was revolutionary. While the world saw laughter, chaos, and timeless comedy, behind the cameras, tension simmered relentlessly. Vivian Vance and William Frawley, tasked with bringing Ethel and Fred to life, struggled with personal frustrations, including a significant age gap and lingering resentments. Their off-screen relationship was fraught with cold silences, whispered insults, and unspoken grudges. Yet when the red light signaled filming, their chemistry became flawless, a testament to professionalism and the unspoken commitment to craft. Frawley's struggles extended beyond personality clashes. His frequent drinking caused unpredictable mood swings, forcing producers to draft strict contractual stipulations to ensure he remained functional on set. His hands often shook during scenes, yet he delivered performances that audiences adored, proving resilience and talent could transcend personal challenges simultaneously. Lucille Ball faced scrutiny of an entirely different magnitude. Decades old, political affiliations surfaced, and rumors suggested she might have ties to communism, a dangerous accusation. In the McCarthy-era United States, the FBI investigated and gossip circulated, threatening her career and public image. Desi Arnaz intervened decisively, defending his wife publicly and privately, navigating networks, sponsors, and the press. His loyalty preserved both Lucy's career and the integrity of the show, demonstrating how personal alliances could safeguard professional endeavors. Even within this environment of stress and surveillance, the cast's determination transformed adversity into narrative strength, improvisations born from tension, subtle gestures shaped by unseen struggles, and raw emotional honesty contributed to performances that were richer, more nuanced, and more relatable. Audiences connected with Lucy, Ethel, Fred, and Desi not just because of scripted comedy, but because the performers' resilience and humanity shone through. The trials behind the curtain revealed the stark contrast between the glossy world on-screen and the complicated reality off-screen, a juxtaposition that ultimately enhanced the authenticity and emotional resonance of one of television's most beloved shows. Behind the laughter and the bright lights of I Love Lucy, The personal lives of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz were far from perfect. Desi's extramarital affairs became an unspoken yet influential force, creating tension within the Arnaz-Ball household, and subtly affecting the dynamics of Desilu Productions. Lucy, aware of the betrayals, faced an emotional minefield daily. Yet she displayed remarkable professional discipline on set. She separated personal turmoil from her performances, ensuring that audiences never witnessed the fractures. Behind the camera, off-screen conflicts weren't limited to intimate relationships. Vivian Vance and William Frawley's clashes over. Age differences, personal grievances, and resentment added layers of complexity to production. Arguments, silence, and occasional on-set frustration required careful navigation by producers and co-stars. Meanwhile, Lucy endured public scrutiny, with rumors and gossip amplifying every personal misstep. Yet these challenges, while daunting, shaped her resilience. She transformed pain into determination, channeling energy into her work, her studio, and the meticulous control of her projects. Divorce and separation loomed on the horizon, highlighting the reality that success often coexists with chaos. Lucy's ability to balance personal upheaval with professional excellence became a defining feature of her career. She refused to let betrayal or scandal derail her ambition, instead using adversity as fuel to expand her creative and entrepreneurial influence. This period demonstrated that art often thrives amid personal struggle, and that behind every iconic figure lies a complex human story. In navigating these personal trials, Lucy proved that strength, discipline, and vision could turn even the most turbulent circumstances into opportunities for legacy building, leaving audiences laughing while her life continued with unseen drama. When Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz agreed to reduce their weekly salaries in exchange for full ownership of I Love Lucy episodes, most network executives assumed it was a minor concession with little consequence. They couldn't have been more mistaken. This strategic gamble not only secured their creative freedom, but also laid the foundation for a media empire whose influence would endure for decades. By retaining rights to the filmed episodes, Lucy and Desi unlocked the immense financial potential of syndication, selling the episodes back to CBS in 1960 for roughly $4.5 million, a figure that, in today's terms, translates to tens of millions of dollars. This unprecedented deal validated the power of content ownership, proving that intellectual property could generate sustained wealth far beyond the original broadcast. Their foresight extended well beyond I Love Lucy under Desilu Productions. They nurtured and launched television series that would define American entertainment. The Untouchables, The Andy Griffith Show, Star Trek, and Mission Impossible. Each project followed the same core principle: television could simultaneously be an artistic pursuit and a profitable enterprise by maintaining ownership. They ensured that future syndication, international distribution, and merchandising opportunities could continue generating revenue long after the cameras stopped rolling. This approach reflected not only business acumen, but a keen understanding of long-term cultural value and influence. Ball and Arnaz's strategy created a blueprint for modern media empires, illustrating that entertainers can maintain creative control, leverage intellectual property, and build generational wealth. Their model shifted industry paradigms. Performers were no longer mere wage earners, but potential stakeholders in their work's enduring success. Networks and studios began to recognize the value of content ownership, leading to the modern practices of syndication deals, licensing, and franchising. In essence, their vision transformed television from ephemeral entertainment into a scalable, profitable, and culturally impactful institution. The genius of Lucy and Desi lay in marrying artistry with strategy, proving that smart business decisions can amplify creative achievement and that a single pay cut, when combined with foresight, could secure a legacy that endures across generations. Lucille Ball's influence extended far beyond television screens. By the mid-1950s, her likeness appeared everywhere from dolls, comic books, and toys to jewelry, clothing lines, and household merchandise. Fans weren't passive viewers. They were active participants in a growing cultural phenomenon. Lucy's image became a symbol of humor, resilience, and authenticity, allowing audiences to connect with her persona both on-screen and in everyday life. The merchandising strategy pioneered by I Love Lucy established one of the earliest forms of media franchising. Television content became intertwined with commercial products, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem that monetized popularity without compromising creative output. Lucy's face was more than marketing. It conveyed personality, relatability, and joy, ensuring that merchandise felt like an extension of her character rather than a mere sales tool. This intersection of celebrity and consumer culture was revolutionary. It laid the groundwork for modern entertainment empires where television, merchandise, and brand identity are inseparable. Lucy's influence shaped how future stars and studios approach media, marketing, and cultural reach. Her brand demonstrated that a performer could simultaneously entertain, inspire, and drive commerce, creating a lasting economic and cultural impact. Even decades later, Lucy's image remains instantly recognizable, proving that effective branding is about authenticity and emotional resonance. Through television, merchandising, and strategic cultural presence, Lucille Ball became more than a star. She became an enduring icon, whose influence continues to ripple across media, commerce, and popular culture. While I Love Lucy began in a modest New York studio, its impact quickly transcended American borders. Through the power of syndication, episodes traveled far beyond the United States, reaching more than 100 countries. Translations, dubbing, and cultural adaptations allow the humor, timing, and character-driven storytelling to resonate universally. Lucy Ricardo's relentless energy, Ethel's grounded wit, and the chemistry with Fred became familiar to audiences. Speaking dozens of languages, the show's accessibility sparked creative influence worldwide. International broadcasters often cited I Love Lucy as a blueprint for local sitcoms, inspiring adaptations and original productions that mirror the same blend of physical comedy, situational humor, and relatable domestic scenarios. The show's techniques, multi-camera filming, live audiences, and narrative rhythm were studied, adopted, and adapted by producers across continents, establishing technical standards that shaped global television production. Beyond technical influence, Lucy became a cultural ambassador of sorts. She symbolized universal human experiences, ambition, mischief, frustration, and joy. Families in diverse cultures connected with the characters, struggles and triumphs, demonstrating that humor transcends borders when rooted in emotion. Merchandise, comics, and television guides further expanded Lucy's presence internationally, creating fan communities in Europe, Asia, and Latin America long before social media existed. The show also served as a soft cultural bridge, providing international audiences with glimpses of American family life, post-war optimism, and television innovation. Its global reach highlighted the potential of media as a unifying force, capable of linking disparate cultures through shared laughter. Moreover, I Love Lucy introduced international audiences to a model of professional television production. Production previously unseen, the combination of high production values, live audience reactions, and sophisticated comedic timing set benchmarks that influence not only sitcoms, but variety shows, game shows, and serialized dramas abroad. Scholars and media historians often cite the show as a turning point in global entertainment, demonstrating that television could combine artistry, innovation, and mass appeal. Its cultural resonance went beyond humor. It provided inspiration for actors, directors, and writers worldwide, showing how a small, ordinary setting could convey extraordinary emotion. I Love Lucy wasn't just exported entertainment, it became a global cultural touchstone, proving that a small apartment and an audacious couple could reshape television on a worldwide scale, inspiring laughter, creativity, and connection across generations and continents. More than 70 years after its debut, I Love Lucy continues to resonate with audiences, proving that timeless storytelling and genuine humor never fade. Millions of viewers still stream episodes every year, discovering the series anew or revisiting familiar favorites. Colorized specials, anniversary broadcasts, and international reruns attract new generations, confirming that well-crafted narratives can transcend time and cultural change. Even in a world saturated with digital content and fast-paced media, the show's combination of physical comedy, relatable domestic scenarios, and sharp timing feels fresh and compelling. Its ability to make audiences laugh while exploring real human experiences, friendship, ambition, failure, and love ensures its relevance across generations. The show's innovations in production, syndication, and merchandising laid the foundation for modern television and media enterprises. By integrating creative risk-taking, technical ingenuity, and business foresight, Lucy and Desi demonstrated how artistry and commerce could coexist. Their pioneering strategies continue to influence how studios approach content ownership, syndication, rights, and brand expansion, establishing a template that drives television and streaming success today. From streaming algorithms to merchandising tie-ins, modern entertainment owes much to the precedent set by Desilu Productions. Lucille Ball's leadership at Desilu Productions further cemented her legacy as the first woman to head a major studio. She championed projects like Star Trek and Mission Impossible, influencing generations of creators and executives. Her example inspired countless female leaders in entertainment, proving that vision, determination, and innovation are not limited by gender. Ball's ability to balance creative insight with business acumen remains a blueprint for aspiring producers and executives worldwide. Culturally, the show remains a symbol of humor, resilience, and authenticity. Its characters, iconic moments, and innovative storytelling have been studied, celebrated, and referenced in popular culture for decades. Whether through bloopers, classic gags, or groundbreaking plotlines like Lucy's pregnancy, the series demonstrated the power of television to reflect life, elicit empathy, and unite audiences. The enduring popularity of Lucy merchandise, tribute performances, and academic studies underscores the show's lasting cultural footprint. Ultimately, I Love Lucy endures because it balances laughter with humanity, innovation with accessibility, and ambition with charm. Its legacy is measured not just in ratings or revenue, but in the joy, inspiration, and influence it continues to provide. Lucy's humor, vision, and audacity remain a guiding light in entertainment, a reminder that courage, creativity, and art can leave a permanent mark on the world. The show is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, proving that when ingenuity meets authenticity, laughter truly becomes timeless.